Hi everyone. Today I am going to tell you the next story of Mahabharata series, and the name of the story is Bhimsen. So let me begin the story. King Janmejaya very humbly asked about the Pandavas. He was very desirous to know about their achievements, birth, and all other activities. So Rishi Vaishampayan very happily narrated the story of all the Pandavas. So he began. All the Pandavas, when they were born, at that time an invisible voice from the sky said some good traits of all the 5 Pandavas. Even about Yudhishthir, Bhimsen, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadeva, something the voice said. And about Bhimsen, the invisible voice said, "O blessed Kunti, this child is the foremost of all endued with strength. He will be the strongest and the mightiest one, and he will be the chastiser of foes. Nobody could be equal with him." So thus the good traits of Bhimsen was told by that voice. Kunti was very happy, and when he was a baby, Bhimsen was on her lap. At that time, suddenly Kunti rose up out of fear of a tiger, and Bhimsen fell up on a stone. That stone was broken into pieces. Seeing this, Pandu was astonished. He couldn't believe that a child fell from his mother's lap, and how he could break the stone into pieces. So this was the first starting of showing the strength of Bhimsen. Then after all the 5 Pandavas were born, and death of Pandu and Madri, all the rishis and siddhas, they brought them and handed over to King Dhritarashtra and Pitamaha Bhisma by telling all the sorrowful story of Pandu. So in due course of time, these 5 Pandavas, they mixed up and they grew up with the Dhritarashtra 100 sons, and they enjoyed every moment. And from the very beginning, Duryodhana didn't like Bhimsen, because both of them were born almost in the same time. I mean, few days difference. Otherwise, Bhimsen was born to Kunti, and Duryodhana at the same day was born to Gandhari. And since Bhimsen always exceeded in strength to Duryodhana, he felt very angry, and he always tried to put him down. I mean, he tried to play the tricks and to kill him. In this way, the enmity between the Pandavas and particularly Duryodhana grew up. It started from the very beginning. And Bhimsen was so strong, and he was very naughty also. So while they were playing in the water, Bhimsen pulled the Kauravas by their hair and drowned them in the water. Sometimes he dragged them by pulling their hair, and they got injuries in knees, shoulder, and so many bruises. So they had a very bad feeling and enmity towards Bhimsen. And instead of decreasing, that enmity increased in time. So Duryodhana thought that gradually Bhimsen is becoming very powerful and more powerful than himself. So he thought, if I could able to kill Bhimsen, then Yudhishthir and Arjun is nothing before him, and he could easily win over them, and then he will be the king of Hastinapur. So he played the trick to kill Bhimsen. Once he was always wicked minded. So one day he told the 5 Pandavas, look, we are going to do a water sports. And they were also very happy because they all were in the same age, only few years difference. So they were very happy and they agreed. And Yudhishthir said, so it be. Right? Duryodhana said, we are going outside of the kingdom, somewhere, Pramanik or some other place, the name, there we are going to do our water sports. That is called as water sports house. So this thing Duryodhana arranged. So everybody went there with their chariots, or someone with elephants, horses, like this. They reached there, and the house was beautiful, and it was well decorated. Beforehand, Duryodhana told his wicked cook to prepare the foods with, particularly food with poison, virulent poison, means very strong poison for Bhimsen, because his only one intention was, prime intention was to kill Bhimsen. So the cook was also like that. Thus Duryodhana started all the heinous act and the sin for Bhimsen. Then they all went to play in the water. They enjoyed every bit of time. They played with each other. They caught jokes, and they overwhelmed with joy by playing in water with each other. But after coming back, they were so fatigued, because whatever it is, it was a sports. So they all were fatigued, and they ate and slept. But to Bhimsen, Duryodhana particularly helped him to eat more and more, and mixed with strong poison. Bhimsen ate, he couldn't come to know what's wrong with that food. He ate it and he slept. Gradually, the poison started its action upon Bhimsen, and he became senseless. When everybody slept, Duryodhana, with his brother's help, tied Bhimsen, bound him in cord of wild creepers, and then they took him and threw him in water of Gangas. They threw him. They thought that this time Bhimsen is definitely going to die. And nobody knew about it because everybody was asleep. Then when Bhimsen was under the water, the Nagas came and started biting him. And he was so strong that they even couldn't bite his chest. It was so hard, like thunderbolt. And instead of any harm, the snake's poison and the poison he had already taken in the food, they became neutralized and he became very strong. Then the Nagas and he broke all the cords, the cords of creepers. At that time, the snakes went to the king Cobra, the snake king Basuki, and told everything what they had seen. And Basuki had a snake chief whose name was Ark. Ark was the grandfather of Pritha's grandfather. So immediately he could come to know about Bhimsen, and he came and hugged his grandson. Then all the snakes, Nagas, combinedly took Bhimsen to Basuki. Basuki was also very happy to see the Pandavas, second Pandava. Then they gave him so many foods and ornaments and dresses. Then at last Basuki said, "Oh second Pandava, oh Bhimsen, I am so much pleased. Now tell me, before going, I want to give you something." Then Ark said, "Oh Basuki, if you are pleased, then give him the ambrosia, something, I forgot. I think it is ambrosia. And that was a rare liquid. If anybody would take that, he would have 10,000 elephants' strength." And Basuki was very happy and immediately asked Bhimsen to drink that. And they thought that it would take time to finish the drink. But Bhimsen took the vessel and drank and finished it at one stroke. They all became very happy and they praised him. At last Basuki blessed him and he took farewell from all the Nagas and went back to his mother. This, yes, while they were playing at that time, if any time the Kauravas were climbing up the tree, then Bhimsen was so nutty, he kicked the tree so that everybody, those who climbed up with the fruits, fell on the ground. So because of his naughtiness and childishness, they all got angry upon Bhimsen always. That is where they thought all the bad things for him. Now when Bhimsen came out from the water and ran to his mother and told everything, Yudhishthir, they all hopped to Bhima, and Yudhishthir said, "Oh brothers, now be careful hereafter and do one thing, do not expose this, what had happened to you, do not declare it to anyone, because from now onwards we know that what is his intention." His means Duryodhana's intention, and we should be careful if we want to survive. Now Kunti also told everything to Vidura, and she became very sorry. She felt bad that the Kauravas are always against her children and they are thinking how to kill them. Then Vidura said, "Oh Kunti, you are blessed one, and your children are also blessed for long life. So do not worry, but they should be careful all the time." This much. And yes, one thing, when Bhimsen and Yudhishthir, all of them went to Duryodhana again, Duryodhana was stunned. He couldn't believe that this time Bhimsen would be alive. However, this is the story about Bhimsen. Tomorrow I will meet you with the story of Karna. Thank you so much for listening the story.